aka MrBoxDie.com, aka Mr. Holla at your motherfucking boy. So, Demetrius Andrade and Jermell Charlo, that's the younger Charlo, got into like a little scuffle after the Broner versus Garcia fight. Apparently, Demetrius Andrade had done walked up to Ronnie Shields and kind of shook his hand and was like, "Hey, good fight. Congratulating Ronnie Shields on the older Charlo's win and that sort of thing." And the younger Charlo had walked by and he kind of, a lot of y'all gonna be familiar with this term, but he kind of eased him. That's what we call him down here in Miami. Eased him. You know what I mean? Kind of sized him up. You know what I mean? The younger Charlo. You know what I mean? And Andrade, he said something. He's like, "What's up? You easing me? What's going on? You know what I mean? What's the plug? What we doing?" You know what I mean? And Charlo said something like, "I'm a savage. That's what I do." He said some shit like that. You know what I mean? And they would go back and forth a little bit. It wasn't that big of a thing. You know what I mean? But in that little verbal scuffle, Andrade he was kind of like, "Let's make the fight happen. Let's make the fight happen." And the younger Charlo kind of brushed it off a little bit. You didn't really respond to that. You know what I mean? Andrade's always been willing to put it on paper, but no one for some reason, no one's that willing to get in the ring with Andrade. You know what I mean? And this is cool. I like the little scuffles that Andrade gets into. You know what I mean? It's entertaining. I like the shit that he be talking and all that kind of stuff. Some people grow agitated or annoyed with it, and because they haven't seen him in any fights. They're not seeing the fights being made as a result of the shit talking, because the shit talking should be a prerequisite to the fight happening, but all we're seeing is the shit talking. We're not saying the fight's actually being made, and that's because of the management. Demetrius Andrade, he signed what I think Banner Boxing or Banner Promotions or something like that. And it's just really, him and Rigo, man, these guys are just, they're under these promotional entities, and these promotional entities kind of like hang them, you know what I mean? And that goes to show you, man, when you can make one bad business decision and it just stifles you for your entire career. I don't know how long Andrade's contract is with this Banner Promotions, you know what I mean, or whatever, but I don't know if I don't know what he signed, man. I don't know if it was a lifetime deal. I don't know what he signed. You know what I mean? But whatever this promotional agreement he signed is stifling his career and keeping him from getting involved in these fights, okay? Now, Andrade is, he fought Jack Colque, I think, a few months back. So, he's not that inactive, even though he came off the major inactivity. So he's not that inactive nowadays, you know what I mean, after fighting Jack Colque. And that was kind of like a close little fight from Andrade, but not really a close fight. He kind of won that fight pretty easily, but you get what I'm trying to say. But I mean, it in general, these promotional things of kind of, I don't know if he's with Al Heyman though. He might be with Al Heyman now. He might be. I don't think he's completely with Al Heyman. I think Al Heyman, maybe they're doing some sort of partnership with Banner, you know what I mean, or something like that. I know he's not fully vested into the Heyman team. I know that Banner Promotion, I know they work with Al Heyman, so I'm not all the way up to date on that, but they need to work on getting some of these fights done, man. I mean, when it comes to these guys at 154 pounds, the division is just stacked. There's just so many fights happening right now at 154, and Andrade is just kind of being frozen out of the whole 154 picture. You know what I mean? Things are happening without him, you know what I mean? So he really needs to be trying to get involved in these fights, you know what I mean? And and people try to be hard on him, but you can't really be hard on him. He made one bad business decision early on in his career, and he's paying for that now as a result. But you know what I mean? But he's trying to make these fights happen, like the Lara fight. Like Lara, people ain't calling Lara out, man. People ain't calling Lara out. Lara is kind of ducking, man. He's kind of fucking ducking. He really is. Lara's a WBA super champ. Demetrius Andrade is a WBA regular champ. I don't know if they're negotiating that fight now. I don't know. But that fight needs to happen. It shouldn't take that long to negotiate, honestly. The fight should be done by now. We should have a date for that fight. Lara is like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fight Andrade, let's make the fight happen. And then 2 days later, you hear Lara talk about he wants to fight goddamn Jarrett Hurd and unify the belt, which is nothing wrong with, but you got business at the WBA. We don't even know who the best is with that WBA belt. Let's find out who's the best with that WBA belt, and then we can go ahead and have you unified with the other weight divisions. You know what I mean? With the other champions. And Lara's just kind of I think he's holding the process up, man. I think that Andrade works with Al Heyman. Like, I think these fights are very much makeable. You know what I mean? But I believe that people just don't want to fight him, and they don't have any real incentive to fight him for the most part. Which is pretty much the story of boxing, risk versus reward and that sort of thing. But for somebody like Lara who talks that much shit, Lara talks a lot of shit, man. For somebody like Lara who talks that much shit, man, you need to get in the ring with this man, yo. You talk a lot of shit for somebody who's not getting in the ring, Lara. You really do. Get in the ring with Andrade. Let's make the fight happen. Let's see what it is. Now, the bad thing about this is I feel like whoever loses that fight, we're probably not going to see ever. When was the last time Lara even fucking fought? We don't even know. We don't even know when the last time Lara fought. When was the last? And then Andrade, if he loses, what's going to happen to him? When are we ever going to see Andrade again? He's probably going to fall off the face of the earth. We don't know what the fuck's going to happen. And the thing about it is these are two terrific fighters that we're probably not going to ever see again if they fight whoever the loser is, but the fight needs to happen regardless of all the bullshit politics. The fight needs to happen. Andrade needs to get busy. As far as the whole Charlo situation, Charlo's definitely in the radar, And, if he's going to talk all that shit and, savage mode, don't savage mode when when y'all walking through the goddamn hallway and you ain't signed the fight to do. Don't savage mode then. Savage mode in the ring after the fight's already been made. That's when we want to see the savage mode. You know what I mean? But let me know what you guys think, man. Hit it up in the comment section below. You could also hit me up on Twitter, Box Capital X or Capital X Dot. You can hit me up on Facebook, Box -sign or -sign Dot. Like the video, subscribe, all that bullshit. But until next time, it's your buddy Dynamite signing out. Holla at your motherfucking boy.